some quick checks. Let's do a run through our checklist. I got my timer. Boop.
What's the timer for?
Just for an hour. Try to keep it tight. Toit.
Nice and toit.
Gallery view to speaker view for me for recording. Unplug my fan.
I have water that's in this wonderful Super Bowl 26 mug, which was Buffalo and the Cowboys.
I don't know sports.
It was the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure.
I got my tangerine LaCroix.
Yay! I had a cat, but she left, and that's fine. I don't like her anyway. She's not even glaring at me. I'm giving her the eye that's like, I hate you, and she doesn't care. She's a cat. That's what cats do.
Cats don't care. Ethernet. Perfect. Got the mic connected. This is good. Volume's
I just
up.
went for a run. We've been trying to do a run a mile a week. Hey,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Hello. Kerrit podcast. Good song.
Yeah, this sounds like something carrots could grow to.
Crunch into us.
What's up, Doc? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Crunch.
We are surrounded by serialized art, from a film series with 7 sequels to a book series with 20 entries, from a television show where zombies tear people limb from limb to a band or musical artist's 3-concept album arc. The possibilities are endless. Thus, this is something serial.
So, here's the thing. Been trying to do a run a mile a week, or a mile a day. Very small. We were doing much more. We fell off because of depression. And now we're back, and it's good. We're doing well.
That's good.
Second thing, okay? We were talking about this last night. Here's the thing about Chipotle, okay? First of all, I don't know if Qdoba was good anymore. It's been about 5 years since I've had them. Are they good still?
No.
So Chipotle is better.
The only thing, well, not the one we had last night. The fucking rice was undercooked, and it's just bullshit. But I mean, I don't remember how Qdoba's rice tastes because I was just in a Chipotle kick, so that's all I liked. But then the only thing that Qdoba had over Chipotle was their queso dip. Chipotle's queso was fucking trash. And then they changed the recipe, and now it's amazing.
I was going to say, I always, because I'm bougie, I say, give me that cheese sauce. What's it called? Nacho sauce?
It's queso.
Queso.
You studied Spanish in Spain and Argentina. You don't even...
that's the word, but in America, can I just say, it's called queso. First of all, queso means cheese, right?
Yeah.
So cheese in English means a lot of things, and yet queso, actually queso in Spanish means a lot of different cheeses, right? But in America, queso means that creamy, cheese. Nacho cheese, which is nacho cheese, I think you could also call it. It was called.
Well, isn't nacho cheese like melted cheddar?
Isn't that pretty much what queso is? I mean, queso is basically it's like a salsa cheese, a cheese salsa.
Well,
right?
It's like queso blanco, if you want to go that far. It's like a white
cheese?
White cheese. Melted.
So it's like beer cheese, but Tex-Mex style.
Yeah. Anyway, it's great.
Anyway, it is good. And, well, here's the thing, though. We were talking about this because, we have an hour, and luckily we have allotted time for our burrito debate. And that's not the title of this episode because we have main things to talk about. But here's the thing. Chipotle was good. First of all, they had to double wrap my burrito because I would always get, so many damn things in it.
Oh, man.
But their chicken, which is the safest of the mass-produced meats, in my uninformed opinion, is usually kind of burned or weirdly chunky sometimes. Not chunky as in delicious, moist chunky, tender chunks, but gross, ew, is that a tendon chunk?
Dry and not pulled apart correctly, basically. Not
exactly.
Not prepared well enough.
Exactly. And so I want to try their tofu because their tofu looks really good.
They have tofu?
They do in Minneapolis, and I feel like they might nationally. It looks great because it looks just like chicken, and it's in that like beautiful slop that they keep it in, for lack of a better term.
for the oink oink piggies that come in.
Exactly.
That is not a cop joke.
I got that,
but it could be.
I live in Minneapolis. I get that.
Yeah, you get it more than. I mean, as much as anybody, whatever.
Well, not as much as others, though, at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand to an extent what's going on with this joke, is what I mean.
Chief Wiggum.
Yes. Bake them away, toys. I can't do the voice. Oh, God, that's much better.
What was I saying? Oh, sofritas. I think that's what you're talking about. The tofu.
Fritas?
It's
yeah.
called sofritas, I think. Because that's the thing that's on the menu. It's fucking incredible. I always do half meat and then half sofritas.
Maybe I'll do just sofritas because I am trying to. I've had bad experiences, you know.
Well, the thing is, it's very salty. So it's like you want to balance it out with something that's like actually real.
That's why, though, I get like a gallon of soda. Again, I'm allowed to eat garbage. It's quarantine, and there's nothing else to do. Except for run around the block.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, there's other things, I should say. I'm not trying to, like, discount people who do, like, welding on the side, or whittling, or skiing, or...
Whittling?
Yeah, I don't know. Hobbies, whatever.
Oh, shit. I haven't whittled since, I mean, never. I'm kidding. I did when I was a kid, because I was like, ooh, this is fun. You drag a knife across a stick. It's fun.
Dude.
Who fucking whittles?
People that are good with their hands, which is not me. I'm not putting I can put thread through a needle, but at the end of it, I'll be shaking with rage. Like, this is really tiny. Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
I'm not Dickie Roberts. No, not Dickie Roberts. I'm not
Bucky Larson.
Bucky Larson. Those are
Dickie
weirdly
Roberts.
similar in titles.
They all are. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. It's all fucking ridiculous.
Sandy Wexler.
Yeah.
It's like the Rob Schneider. It's really the Adam Sandler effect, but Rob Schneider get caught up with the animal and the hot chick.
Yeah.
Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
Yeah, Deuce Bigelow. Yeah, that one's only different because it has like a subtitle, Male Gigolo.
I know. They could have just called it the male gigolo, but they wanted the rhyme. Bigelow rhyming with gigolo was the punchline for them. I know this guy, movie. David Bigelow. Have you met him? He's not like funny. He's a nice guy, but his last name is amazing.
Is he by chance a male gigolo?
That's the thing. He's an accountant, but it rhymes. You get it?
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so again, just, quick aside to continue the burrito debate aside, which is not the title, again, of this episode. I just go, there's a food truck 2 blocks down this way. Like, so here looking at me, so this is a computer I'm on, right? So this is a screen. And then directly behind this screen there's nothing behind it because it's a computer, right?
Yeah.
But if you were to look that direction and remove all the buildings in front of me for 2 blocks, you would just about see the food truck. And, it's not bad. And it's hard to resist because it's 2 blocks away. So I have like a half-hour lunch and I'm working at home. I'm like, Deuce is Bigelow, male gigolo. I'm going to go to the burrito truck. Let's do this.
His name is Deuce.
Why did they call him Bruce?
Because Deuce is like, it's another word for poop. This guy is so shit. His name is Deuce.
Why didn't they do like call him Cal? Cal Bigelow, male gigolo.
Dude, there's a sequel to Deuce Bigelow.
European gigolo.
Yeah. Did you ever see it?
I didn't see either. I did see a little bit of the first one because I always remember when there's that voice, that disembodied voice off camera that yells out, "That's a huge bitch," which is like such a stupid. It's so funny though.
I know there's a scene in that movie where, like, he's he's hanging upside down because he's like watching this gigolo's play. Like that's the plot of the movie. He becomes a gigolo to make enough
American Gigolo.
Well, to make enough money to fix the aquarium that he breaks. That's the plot of the movie. He's what's that job title called?
An aquarium cleaner.
No, I think he's like
a zoo person.
What's a male maid? What's just? He might be an aquarium cleaner. That might the pool boy. I think he's the pool boy.
Pool boy.
Pool man. I don't know. He's a
pool
deuce.
man for an aquarium.
You know who the guy is? Oded Fair from The Mummy.
Really?
That's the actual Gigolo. So the plot, he's hanging upside down because he lives in this like lavish place. He's watching the place for the guy. He's the pool boy, and then he like hears the phone.
I've got to watch this.
Dude,
this sounds amazing and also terrible.
He hears the phone ringing, and then he is like, "Oh shit, I gotta get that." So he like almost falls, and then he grabs onto the aquarium. And then on the voicemail, because he didn't get the phone, it's Oded Fair saying like, "Hey, I'm going to be gone a couple days, but I'll be back this day. So, watch my place," whatever he says. And then Deuce Bigelow like pulls the aquarium, it fucking breaks, and he falls into it, shatters the whole thing. So now he has to take this guy's clients, take them out, new clients or whatever, because they'd recognize him. But then like make enough money as a gigolo to repair this fucking aquarium tank. It's so stupid. That's the plot of the movie.
I don't even know what to say because, like, look, that's a fair plot for a comedy.
It's
all right?
not bad.
At
it's
the same
better
time,
than the
it's,
hot chick.
Is it? I actually feel like the hot chick has some mythology going on. This is like a guy who breaks an aquarium of a guy he's house sitting. Like, that's so flimsy. It's
of a
flimsy.
gigolo, and his name is Deuce Bigelow.
That makes no sense. I mean, although it did give us that scene where there's that narcoleptic lady who's like, "I've always wanted to try soup, but I don't want to die." And then her hair is like tied up to the wall.
Yeah.
There's some good parts. I mean, that's hilarious. Any way you cut it, that's funny.
There's that, and that same character, she tries bowling and falls asleep while she's throwing the ball.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's so insensitive. Like that.
It is, isn't it?
It's so awful. I mean, it's so funny to look back on previous movies that, like, all of our parents loved. Like, all of our parents were like, Deuce Bigelow's fucking hilarious.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Republican parents loved Deuce Bigelow. And then now people get offended by, The Witches getting remade because apparently Anne Hathaway has like missing digits or missing fingers
I did hear about that.
Like,
yeah.
That becomes a huge thing, and it's like, I don't think anyone's looking at the movie and thinking people with digits missing are like villains.
I think it's like they were webbed, right?
No,
I guess no.
They're not webbed. It's like she's missing fingers or something,
somehow?
So she's like this or something like that. But it's like, well, I mean, the Penguin, we talked about it. He's got flippers. He was born that way, and he's a villain. He's misunderstood, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I mean, I guess it's because she's a stone cold, awful villain. But it's also weird because the original Roald Dahl book doesn't have it, and then the movie from the 80s doesn't have it, or the early 90s with Angelica Houston, wherever that came out. It's it's a new creation for this movie, and I don't think there's any, bad intent with it, but it's also like, why did you do that?
I mean, okay, having not seen the movie, having no interest in seeing the movie.
Agreed. I've seen the original. That's all I'll watch. I
mean, I haven't had interest in a Robert Zemeckis movie since Flight, which was really good. But then he came out with Allied, which it's like you're forced to almost want to see it, except for you still don't want to because it doesn't actually look good. But it's Brad Pitt in a World War II movie directed by Robert Zemeckis with Marion Cotillard. It's like, okay, this could be good. I've not seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I always wanted to, kind of. It was the thing where it was like, all right, I can watch Traitor with Don Cheadle. All right, I kind of want to see this. Like, I felt that way about Allied, and
like a better movie. I think it was better received at least.
Yeah, no one saw it.
Which one? Traitor
Traitor.
or Allied? Both of them.
Both, yeah. Both.
No one's seen them. Steve Martin did the story for Traitor. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. But he did. Anyways, yes. Well, they also airbrushed Brad Pitt's face in Allied, which is an interesting creative choice. I think they actually do that more frequently than you would think. Like, I think Tom Cruise does it in his movies of late.
Well, they didn't do it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I loved it for that.
Well, no. Well, I don't think. I mean, yeah, true.
I mean, they're supposed to both be aging guys. That's why it's so great.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Witches.
So the witches and okay, this one. Yes, you're right. Exactly. Okay. No interest in seeing it. I did hear that they made it in a way where their disguises were more like a transformation, whereas in the original it was more like them wearing masks and things like that.
Yeah, they pulled off their fake bodies and stuff.
Yeah,
they pulled off their hats and their wigs.
Maybe it was more like a subtle hint that something was wrong because they couldn't cover that up. But at the same time, then you have people with that syndrome who are like disappointed in that portrayal.
No, because they still it's not Anne Hathaway walking around without fingers. It's like she has fingers and then she takes off the disguise or becomes the mythical whatever changing and then she doesn't have them. So it's like it's an extra step to make her weird, and like because she's a villain, the negative thing gets attributed to the person. You know what I'm saying? Like I
do.
It's like making every villain, like every cartel member, cartels, it's like making any villain a black person or a Mexican person.
Right.
And it's like, well, there are white gangs as well. You don't have to make it like, it's that kind of thing. I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's just like, it's going to be a 15 minutes of fame situation for a movie that sucks. So
right. Yeah. And to be fair, I did just watch A View to a Kill, and after watching it, I started hating French people. For those in the not know, because this is, I feel like, random, Christopher Walken's French in that movie. I learned that for the first time watching that movie for the 20th time this weekend. I had no idea. I had no idea.
I didn't know
he was like a Nazi baby. I had no idea he was French.
I didn't know he was French. I thought he was like Swedish, Norwegian, or some shit like that, but without an accent for some reason. Also, I just hate people with hyphens in their names because of that movie.
St. John Smythe. Yes.
Let's get a little Roger Moore action.
Enjoying our little party, Monsieur St. John Smythe?
Oh, immensely. St. John Smythe.
Oh, by the way, the name is St. John Smythe. James St. John Smythe. Hello. I thought you might like to join the party. By the way, the name is James St. John Smythe. I'm English.
I never would have guessed.
Really?
John St. John Smythe.
St. John Smythe.
John St. John Smythe.
I don't... Anyways, look.
That movie is trash.
It is bad. We did a James Bond retrospective over like 13 episodes. Bottom line being, who knew that I would end up liking Octopussy way more than A View to a Kill as I got older, thinking that one was better than the other. A View to a Kill is not fun. It takes forever. There's only like 2 good parts in it. I had no idea. I forgot. It's crazy. I can't believe that I grew up thinking it was good because of Christopher Walken and Grace Jones. They're not even in it that much.
No, they're not. And the fucking Moore movies are so weird because, not to get too off topic, because we haven't even started talking about our topic.
What's our timer at?
18 minutes.
Oh, shit. We got to stop. We have like 30 seconds. Wrap it up. Let's do this.
Okay. Wrap it up.
Guns out. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
I was just going to say the wrap it up thing reminds me of that Chappelle Show sketch, because now that's on Netflix and HBO Max. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Where it's like the wrap it up box. If something's taking too long, a woman's telling a story at dinner, he pulls out the wrap it up box and then it plays the music from the Oscars. He's like, wrap it up. And then later he's like having sex with her, and he's like, it's really funny because she pulls out the wrap it up box.
Right.
And he's like, not even close. Like, not even close. Then you got Dave Chappelle.
Doing his ridiculous face. Oh, I love it.
But anyway.
I didn't realize. Okay. That's on Netflix now. Chappelle's Show.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the Clayton Bigsby sketch is in the very first episode, which is amazing to me. But anyways,
it is still so fucking funny. That show is incredible. Anyway, that was a minute. Didn't even cover the point I was talking about.
No.
A View to a Kill is awful, and Grace Jones, she's basically Jaws from Moonraker, because he's a bad guy in that movie as well. And then he turns against Drax, and Grace Jones turns against the Frenchman.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, the Frenchman. Again, did you know he was French? You didn't know?
I forgot. I'm assuming I knew at some point, but it never stuck.
Like, there is that scene in the Eiffel Tower with the butterflies, but I had no idea who's French. And I honestly was listening to see if he was doing a French accent, and he has such a weird speaking voice already that I couldn't tell. I was like, is that just Christopher Walken, or is that him doing a French, like a subtle French accent, like he's super smart and he's learned English? I'm trying to make up these scenarios in my head. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
My name is... What's my name? Max Zorin. Don't tell anybody that I am French. You do it again, I'll stab you in the face.
That is
soldering
iron. That's what it's like watching that movie, because the whole time I'm like, wait, that's what it is.
Here, who am I? Ready? What of you? To a kill.
Also, like, that doesn't make any sense.
It
like,
doesn't. And she looks at him like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a view. Like, seriously, what does that mean to, like, let's try to can we break it down real quick? Okay.
Well, the original title in the book, I think it's in a short story. I think it's a short story in one of the books, like towards the end of Ian Fleming's life. It was originally, or maybe it was a chapter called From a View to a Kill.
And that makes sense, because you could talk about, like, is he talking about, like, sniping somebody? Like, he's talking about going from a view to a kill sort of thing?
It could be that. But
at least it makes sense. You can talk about it.
What a view to a kill. He's like, they're at the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, right? In a fucking Zorin...
Blimp. Yeah, he's in the blimp at the time. And he's talking to his Nazi friend, I believe. I think.
Yeah, that's right. French.
Yeah, there's
Nazis.
a Nazi person in it, and he's like old and German, like really old, and he's German, and he's a scientist. And it's like, because that was the era still that you could have old Nazis in movies, which is crazy. Like real Nazis, not crappy ones. Not crappy ones. I mean, they're all Nazis.
They're all crappy. Although I did hear about this, so I read a book. Okay, the last thing, and then we'll get to the Kerrit / something cereal. I read a book called Man's Search for Meaning, and it's all about a guy named Viktor E. Frankl. He tells the story about how he was in, the internment camps. He went from camp to camp. He survived, but he kind of recounted the, how awful some people could be guards and also prisoners, and the will to survive and how that came out in every person. And one of the things that I really thought was fascinating was that there was a guard that never, like, hurt a single person in his view or anyone else that he knows of. Like, never saw him lay a finger on anybody, was never violent, mean, or anything like that. And when the war ended, these, I think it was Norwegian Jews, they hid him in the forest, the woods, and told the commanding American officer not to hurt him because he didn't hurt them. He treated them kindly, which I found so fascinating. And he actually got his job back because he helped get clothes for, the Jewish people who had been liberated that didn't have new clothes. Like the last time they got clothes were other people that died in the gas chambers when they first got there. So he was a good guy. It's so strange to hear a story about a good guard versus there were people who were prisoners, like Jewish prisoners, that were like doctors for the camp or also kind of guards themselves, and they would treat the other prisoners like shit. So it became a hierarchy of prisoners. That's
the Sunder Commando.
That's so fucked up. I had no idea. Never learned about this. But it's basically to prove the point of it depends on how you want to take anything that's coming at you and kind of internalize it and use that to, how you want to tackle certain things in life. And it's interesting to read it during quarantine. So I've been trying to have a more positive outlook because this is not as bad as the Holocaust. So there's that.
No. Arguably incomparable.
Not even comparable.
Yeah.
So that's something positive to take because I'm usually cynical. So that was nice.
Yeah, I like non-cynicism. I like the opposite of that, which is optimism. It took me a second to come up with that word, so that's why I was talking my way through it, and now I'm explaining myself. I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a great segue into... It's not a great segue at all. Wait, it is a great segue, because in Batman Forever...
Oh, no.
Okay.
Now the Something Serial people have no idea what we were talking about.
I know, they're like, oh, wait, let's start over.
Yo.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, and we've been talking, and you've listened to all of it, and we're in the middle of the episode now.
Yeah, if you're listening on... Hey, folks, if you're listening on the Kerrit podcast, you've heard everything. If you're listening on Something Serial, welcome. You've heard nothing.
And that's it. Boom. Boom!
Boom! Tough acting, acting.
Yeah, we're here now talking. I can't do it. Anyways, I don't care.
Not bad.
Thanks. Okay, so he's dead now in the franchise.
No, that was Kevin's Christopher crawling.
Yeah, because
he's getting there.
Got to crawl before you can walk.
That's right.
And so my accent is in the crawl phase.
Baby steps. Try hard.
And that is walking. That is a walking accent.
That's right. Walking. Sometimes.
Yes.
I'm running. All right.
Do you recall where we left off with the last stuff we were talking about? Because we didn't finish Forever, and we wanted to finish because it's hilarious. It's wonderful.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned was talking about Two-Face's food choices.
Okay. Thank you. Let's start with that. So... At this point, I think we're just talking about fun stuff in the movie, but here's the thing about these movies. We've been kind of talking about this. They're comic book movies that are kind of like, whatever, we're comic book movies. Like, we're not Christopher Nolan. We can do whatever. And that's fine. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm going to jump ahead for a quick second, okay? Batman and Robin's ridiculous, but Mr. Freeze... What's his choice of hideout? It's like an old freezer factory or whatever the fuck. I can get behind that, But with Two-Face, he's like, I want this room painted like Tim Burton shit, and then I want this room painted like this, like Drew Barrymore is an angel, and then I want you two ladies who I've seduced because of my split personality disorder.
For no reason.
And one is Drew Barrymore. Like, I'm pretty sure, hey, you're an established star, right? Perfect. Like, be my good side. You're attracted to me, the Tommy Lee Jones part of my face. Great. Okay. And so they designed the hideout to look like this, okay? So there's no reasonable reason... And that's fine. It's a comic book movie. I'm just saying it's just weird, okay? But let's move past that and move into the fact that Two-Face is eating 2 meals every day. How the fuck is he looking like Tommy Lee Jones,
yeah, exactly.
Who does not gain weight because he has alcoholism?
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, and he forgets to eat. I don't really know why. Because there are 2 types of alcoholics. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those who drink so much that they just gain a bunch of weight, and those who gain so much or drink so much that they just seem to lose a lot of weight.
Because they don't eat.
David Bowie style.
I was definitely he was on cocaine.
That's what it was.
I was definitely the first example of that. I gained a ton of weight, and I'm not even drinking in quarantine, and I still have gained a lot. I did watch a little bit of the making of the first episode. There's some stuff in there about Batman Forever. The first episode of Batman Forever has some of that, but there's another thing that I learned. Like, Joel Schumacher actually said that he wanted to make a comic book come to life. That's basically what he said. So I think with that in mind, I think this movie is so outlandish and just fucking balls to the wall insane, but it works for what he's trying to do. Batman and Robin, on the other hand, which we will get to, it fails on every level. There is, like, comic books have some sort of heart. There's a lesson to be learned. There's something to gain from it. And there is zero of that in Batman and Robin. It's shoehorned in with Alfred dying, but it's so fucking stupid. Like, it's like a Fast and the Furious approach to Batman. It like, from the
careful,
the family.
people like that.
Fuck them.
I think it's garbage.
It's this family thing that's like shoehorned in.
Family.
Ow, I'm your crazy uncle. I'm a part of the family now. Here we go.
Oh, man.
Pedal to the metal.
If it had been successful, it would have just launched like 2 Batman 2 Furious movies with like Batgirl off chilling and doing her own thing, and it would have been amazing. Let's be real.
I mean, isn't it like? And we'll talk about what would have been next. Which I think that should be the last episode that we do of the season, talking about the alternate versions of this movie. Also, there's a part here I'm going to put in Tim Burton talking about like, he almost directed this movie. There's a version of this movie that would have existed as Tim Burton and Michael Keaton, and we'll put Tim Burton in here.
I remember toying with the idea of doing another one, and I remember going into Warner Brothers and having a meeting. I'm going, you could do this, we could do that. And they go like, Tim, don't you want to do like a smaller movie now, just something that's more, and like about, half hour into the meeting, I go, you don't want me to make another one, do you? And they go, no. And I just said, no, I know you did. And so we just stopped it right there.
And then it just kind of fizzled out from there. So it was like he planned on bringing Catwoman back, and I think it was maybe Two-Face, because it was going to be Billy D. Williams. Like, they had already set it up.
Dude, that's first of all, that's unfortunate, even though Batman Forever is amazing. But
for what it could have been, though.
True. I mean, I know it's tough because, I mean, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? But it's unfortunate, but it's also very funny to highlight how, like, that's something I've learned as I've gotten older. Movie executives sitting you down and being like, I can see that conversation happening where they're like, are you really sure? Like, I bet you're not even interested. Come on, you're Tim Burton. Like, you're doing a third Batman. Nah, look, no worries, man. And then, like, maybe Tim Burton's like, I'm still in it. But then because of that conversation, it just ripples throughout the next, like, several conversations over several months. And all of a sudden it's like, whatever, like, it's over now. So, and then it's gone. And that's how that situation was purposely handled by the executives.
Well, it was all like merchandising. They even did that with Batman and Batman Returns, because it was like all these toys and shit like that. And it just became this whole geared towards children, and that movie is not for children in the slightest. But
it is for the children that get almost murdered, though.
Perfect.
So there is that.
It's a movie that's not for kids, and this would have been along those lines, and the studio execs obviously didn't want to do that because it was a huge toy line. I mean, I had a ton of toys from Batman and Robin. I mean, they upped their merchandise game. As much as they had it for Batman Returns, it went higher for Forever, and then fucking stratosphere for Batman and Robin.
Stratosphere right into Pop-Tarts with Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I mean, so many things.
Yeah. I just think it's so funny having an official Pop-Tart.
Do you remember Batman Forever? When you went to McDonald's, they'd give you like the McDonald's glasses that were like the Riddler.
Yes,
absolutely. I had the Riddler one.
Yeah, I bet you I have some in the basement. I'm gonna have to actually call my mom, and I'm gonna look into this.
I'll just put.
I recall that.
Yeah,
we used to drive up, and there would be obviously the drive-through, and my mom. I was so young, she'd be like, "Look at the glasses they're selling," and I'd be looking for like spectacles. And so I couldn't see anything, and I'd be like, I don't see a goddamn thing, Mom. And she'd be like, don't curse, you're 7. And I'd be like, yeah, like this story's gone awry. But anyways.
And then Christopher Walken hops out. Kevin, glasses that you drink out of. Come on. I mean, come on. Don't be a fool. Drink some squirt. All right, that's the first.
Is that Christopher Walken?
Of course. Okay, bye.
Mom. And then I'd be like, who's that French guy, Mom? Why are you carrying this French guy around?
Max Zorin. That's me.
Dude, I wish it's so funny. Those things they were so well manufactured back then. They don't really do stuff like that anymore. It's like, here, like grab your plastic popcorn thing that you can bring for unlimited refills, then it melts in the dishwasher like a year later. It's like, it's so lame.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no. It's basically it's because so many things are like digital now. It's this random shit that you don't need. There's a small niche of collectors kind of collecting things. I mean, I had a ton of Jurassic Park toys. They're all gone now, but they were amazingly made by Kenner. Kenner was the company, and now Mattel makes them. And I can't remember who made the Jurassic World toys. It wasn't Mattel. I think Mattel's making them now, but it was something else, and they fucking sucked.
I always thought Mattel was good. Did they go down the drain? Or?
Mattel has it now. They're serviceable. They're no Kenner, that's for sure. Kenner toys.
Is Kenner still around?
No, Kenner's
gone. This is a good topic. I'm curious about this now.
Hasbro had it, and then they fucked it up with Jurassic World, and now it's Mattel. I'm pretty sure I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know, or I'll throw Kevin Spacey in here.
So, first of all, please don't do that. Look, I like Glengarry Glen Ross. I'd rather just.
Will you go to lunch?
How do you know that line? Oh, that's so random. I mean,
I love
that
movie.
I haven't seen it as many times as you. I watched the Alec Baldwin as a Christmas elf in Saturday Night Live, probably a little more. That was a good one. But I think it's interesting because you and our mutual friend Alex have always been interested in the toy aspect of these franchises.
It's pure nostalgia.
And that's okay. I'm not like trying to call you out or anything. I think it's an interesting topic. It is. It's just kind of interesting to me how it has evolved. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, a couple things. These franchises, first of all, nothing would exist without advertising, right? The TV exists because they wanted to put ads into people's homes.
For sure. That's 100% true.
Yeah, and then same thing with, I don't know actually with radio. That's a good question because at first I feel like radio was used for literal like transmission stuff, like base-to-base type stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's like 1800 stuff, like 1890s. It's a long time ago. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting really off track. The point being, it then turned into toys, right? Star Wars didn't exist because of the toys, but eventually
toys existed because of Star Wars. Yeah,
exactly. And everything has kind of flip-flopped now, where they're just trying to pump out whatever the fuck they can fucking milk off the teats of Star Wars
consumers.
And comic books and whatever the fuck else.
It's complete consumerism. I mean, it's such a bummer because I think that is the downfall of this movie. I think that, Two-Face looks as outlandish as he does. The Riddler is like in all these different costumes. The Batmobile it's got the fucking blue thing in the center, which is like, that's not what an engine would look like.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's like, it used to be so sleek and dark and like made sense, you know? And then now it's like flashy and gimmicky, and it's like, what comic books are these? Are they like he wanted to make a comic book come to life, but what year are we talking? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Now, I'm not a comic book reader.
Me neither.
So correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments, and we have been getting comments, and I must say I haven't read as many as I should. I feel kind of bad. Perhaps we should address that at the end of the episode.
Well, we pissed off a guy from Batman Returns, that's for sure.
Yeah, which we can also address at the end of the episode. Well, how much time are we at?
He won't listen again. We're at 38 minutes. We should probably take an anchor ad for the audio and then just keep going for the video.
Okay. Oh, so if they're watching on video, they don't get the anchor ad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, guys? Like, congrats, first of all, for, you know, this is like extra content or whatever the fuck. Or it's not, because I guess you wouldn't have had to watch the ad. Anyways. Right. Listen to me. The Batmobile having a blue engine, right? This was created, you think, in your theory, not because Joel Schumacher's like, I'm bringing a comic book to life, but because executives are like, we're selling toys with that.
No, not necessarily executives. I think it's more along the lines of everyone trying to be on the same page. Like, this movie, I don't even know. It's so weird because, like, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are starkly different, but, like, in the same vein. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's almost the same as Batman and Batman Returns are, but in the opposite direction. Like, they're both good movies, obviously, but I think Batman Returns is exactly what Tim Burton wanted to put on screen. And Batman Forever, it clearly, like, stuff got cut, drama got cut out of it, and, you know, more impactful scenes are gone. But I don't think it's Joel Schumacher's specific vision. And then with Batman and Robin, I cannot...
Can you hear me still?
Oh, I can hear you. Oh,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My video went crazy for a second. I just wanted to make sure everything was good.
Oh, sorry. I patched in. I'm here in Silicon Valley. Working hard. Hopefully, I don't fall out of a blimp. With Batman and Robin, I don't know if it's what he wanted to put on screen or if the executives are like, do this. I can't tell. I haven't watched it yet. But, like, thinking back on it, it blows my mind how that's a movie. Like, who thought all these ice puns? Like,
God, I know.
With Batman Forever, there are no, like, wordplay puns. The dialogue's fine.
Well, there's some, like, holy rusted metal Batman.
There's that, but that's a reference to previous Batman. So that's
that's
like
true.
Even Batman's just like, what?
Yeah,
he's like,
he's like, come on, what the fuck,
metal,
Robin?
It's full of holes. It's holy. Yeah.
Like, Robin, I'm leaving you in the motherfucking bag cave if you bring that shit in here again.
Like, I know Jim Carrey improvised a lot, for sure. Two-Face had lines that were written, but it was like all about killing Batman or, you know, the long-eared rodent or whatever the fuck he said. The only lines that I think have that kind of, oh, this is out of place, is the weird flirtation between Chase Meridian and Batman, like, especially on the roof.
You mean the sexy flirtation? Yeah, there is a saxophone in that scene.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we talked about it last episode.
Yeah, it's so cute. I like it.
But I think that's the one, like, anytime they're talking, it's like it's this fine line between what an actual psychologist would say and what Batman would say in the moment, and then when they're alone, it's like they're both trying to fuck each other, obviously. And then it's like it's smart and witty dialogue. I don't think it's truly awful. Batman and Robin, on the other hand, why, how?
I have to say, I've been thinking about this a little bit, and I think, and this I think is true of like anything in Hollywood or any franchise really, but especially back then when they were like those types of movies were sort of in their infancy. Like, yeah, you had Superman, but that's like it, kind of.
Yeah.
And I think to an extent, there's a lot of groupthink going on where along with like overlapping miscommunication and like stupid people doing stupid things because they're executives, because like anybody can get a job. And I think everyone was just kind of like, let's do this, or maybe we'll do that. And then it all amalgamated in this giant ball of like, oh, we're selling toys and we got some ice puns and we got Pop-Tarts and like, here's a blue engine light and fucking like, I'll cancel the pizzas. Like
That's in Batman and Robin, yeah.
It's just kind of like, everyone's kind of like, is this good or is it bad? And you can't really tell, you can't get a full grasp of it until you watch it. That's something that another thing I feel like I've gotten into as I've gotten older, where I'm like, well, why didn't somebody just like do this or do that? It's like, well, there's a lot of people that make a movie, and there's a lot of people who are like trying to please everybody else, like people pleasers, while also kind of trying to do their own thing. And I can see how that. I mean, look at this is what like companies do. Companies are idiots.
So who do you think was the real driving force behind Batman Forever?
I think that, like, for example, like, and this is all speculation, but Tim Burton's gone. They want a more comic booky movie. Joel Schumacher's like, sweet, I want to do that. And he's talking with the executives, and they're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to have some crazy shit. And they're like, great, we love crazy shit. And then it kind of just went back and forth, and they kind of kept almost like upping the ante in the poker game. And I just kind of feel like that's how that conversation must have went, because he had free reign to do whatever, more or less.
So
obviously stuff was cut, but like
in
terms of production design and character design and costuming and all that stuff.
So it's basically everyone kind of on the same page.
Yeah, everyone's kind of on the same page, but they're also kind of using each other for different reasons almost.
Now, what do you think about Batman and Robin? What do you think? Who was the driving force behind that one?
I think that's both of them. I think it's the same issue. I think that they were like, this worked. Let's fucking double down on this shit and keep up. Like, because in sequels, it's pretty natural to try to make everything bigger and crazier. So you take something like Batman Forever, and you take that same, like, you know, same executive, same director, same creative forces, and they're like, let's make it crazier. What's crazier? Ice puns, Pop-Tarts, like we're back to the same shit, you know? And it just gets, and you don't realize how bad it is because you're like, this worked so well the first time, and we're making it bigger and better and crazier, and Mr. Freeze lives in a freezer and everything.
See, that's what I'm saying is like the lair. So we started this with talking about Two-Face's lair, but his lair is split down the middle. It's like one's painted like the devil, one's painted like an angel and God and heavenly. But like that's in his obvious ridiculous outfit. But
like, who's sewing that?
I know. So that's the extent where you're just like, okay, I can see how a comic book come to life would look like this. Now, if he was doing, like, he has a coin, but he didn't say, like, Bruce, we're two sides of the same coin. Like, that's the fucking dumb pun that you would expect from what Batman and Robin became. So it's, like, hard to look at one and be like, ice puns, and then another one and be like, pretty good dialogue. You know what I mean? It's like the writer threw it out the fucking window and is like, let's just make Mr. Freeze, like, sad his wife is dying, he's trying to find a cure, and also a diamond thief, and makes his fucking henchman sing Frosty the Snowman? Like, why would he be
interested in Frosty the Snowman?
Because it's ice, it's puns, it's fucking we need to look this up.
Dude,
who wrote both of them?
Well, Akiva Goldsman he wrote the Batman and Robin, and then he co-wrote Batman Forever with the help of two other people that I can't think of.
Okay.
But at the same time, I mean, the man is talented. He won an Oscar for A Beautiful Mind. Like, he wrote I Am Legend, which, aside from the ending,
I'm pretty convinced that he wrote the reshot ending. Parts. And that's the only thing he wrote.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe.
No, that's not true.
No, I had a weird flash of someone else's name, but I don't think he wrote that movie at all. So, anyways.
I mean, that's the thing though. Is like his motive is unclear. It's so in Batman and Robin, and it's like it's just so weird to think about because it's so bad. Like,
You went from we're two sides of the same coin, which is a decent pun.
No, never said it.
He didn't see it in that movie?
That was me saying that would be a pun. But
I was going to say that works. I like that. Are you sure he doesn't say that?
Positive.
That's unfortunate.
There's no puns,
That's crazy,
to my knowledge, in Batman Forever that I can remember. But it is pun heavy. Like even the shit that Poison Ivy's saying, where it's like, you know, God created the heavens and the earth in one day, and like whatever the fuck she's saying, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, who wrote this?
Well, how about when Robin and Batman are talking about her, and they're like, nice stems though, buds too. Yeah, those are nice. Like,
yeah, like what the fuck, man?
Why are they? What are they doing? They're talking about that. Like, come on.
Like, why are they talking in code? And it's like the only thing that I can think is like they dumbed it down to make it more palatable for children.
See, that's possible, but I really think this just adds into the we're going crazier. Like, everyone liked the spectacle of Batman Forever. Let's reach even more into the bag of tricks, which apparently is literally all Batman 1960s influence, which is evident in Forever to an extent, for sure, obviously. Then they were just like, oh, sweet. Our version of doubling down is more references and more stylistic similarities to Adam West.
There are two things. Oh God, Adam West. There are two things that I want to bring up about Batman Forever that I forgot about. There's the introduction of the tabloid lady. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's
Bruce. Are you going to tie the knot? That's from Batman Forever, or Batman and Robin. But yeah. I don't remember what she says in the other one.
She's talking to Edward Nygma. And then she asks him something, and then she's like, "It's Bruce Wayne." She's just over the top,
so
and you're
funny.
like, "Did you go to Christopher Walken acting school?"
She's like, "I'm French."
So
I speak English so well.
Bruce, now tell me. What was that?
That took me way too long.
Yeah, so there's the introduction of her. I hate her character, but she again makes sense in this movie. And then also we do have another maybe the first, or no, not the first, because it happens in Superman, I'm sure, but another instance of someone announcing the hero is here. Like, remember in Spider-Man? It's Spider-Man!
Right.
We have it in Batman Forever when he comes through that glass. There's a guy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, how does he say it? I want to match the video up. It's like, Batman! Ah! And he's like right behind Nicole Kidman. I'm like, how many times did they shoot this? How did she not laugh? It's so dumb.
That's one of those things that I randomly watch the behind the scenes on. First of all, I used to watch behind the scenes all the time when I was younger. And I don't anymore because I'm kind of like, well, they probably did something to make that effect. But they like had a trampoline with Batman. And
well, they did two shots of it because they had the stunt guy come through the glass and then land in the fountain, and then they cut, and then they did another one where he like jumps down and then bounces off.
Exactly.
And it's like, and there are actually shots where you can look and during the fight, you can look and be like, that's not Val Kilmer. And it's just that it's the stunt guy. Also in the helicopter, like when Two-Face is inside in the beginning and then Batman's on the outside, there is a deleted scene on the DVD. We'll put that in here, but you can hear the audio. It's not Val Kilmer. And it's like just a guy as the stuntman saying Val Kilmer's lines. It's pretty fucking weird.
Interesting.
You need help, Harvey. Give it up.
We need help. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Maybe he says something like we're two sides of the same coin or something like that.
I can't believe they didn't say that. That's Do they say it in The Dark Knight? They must have used that line at some point. What a wonderful line to use.
I think it's so on the nose that it would only make sense if Two-Face was in Batman and Robin. To me, it's a dumb line. I would never write it.
Really? Because they kind of are two sides of the same coin.
I mean, it's too on the nose.
Interesting. Hey, what's up?
Wow. That was a little Harvey Dent laugh.
She did a weird like tongue wagging at me.
Wow.
But not sexily, but like I'm gonna like eat like something in the fridge. Which can also be sexy though, to be fair.
Yeah, whipped cream.
Isn't it in the freezer? I have one in here that's full. Careful. Jeez, that's food for me. I'm just kidding. There is someone here, though. I mean, I am communicating with somebody.
I forgot your fridge is right there. It's been.
It
so
is.
long
I'm on it. This is my door.
It's been so long since I've been there.
It's a good place. We're
It
actually
is.
past a year now, which is crazy. It flew by.
Yeah, I mean Corona.
What do you mean?
I feel like, again, I feel like time has just stood still. Hi, Heather.
He said hi.
Aw.
She said, "Aw." Did you hear it?
I did. I literally
he heard
just
you say, "Aw."
I just made the same sound.
Yeah, they are. She gets weirded out when. So she used to have a microphone like this for work.
Yeah.
And I would be in like a different room, or I don't know. I was somewhere way far away. This is a directional mic, right? I mean, it's like right here. Like this is what it's doing. And yeah, it might pick up a little bit over there, a little bit over there, but it's not like if I'm way over there and I'm just like very quietly doing something, it's not gonna pick up. You know?
Yeah, like if you're jerking off to Max Zorin in A View to a Kill.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's French.
Talk to me, you Frenchman. Kevin, I love you.
That's what I imagine him saying during. Anyway, I want to get a beer too, but I'll wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the end. Can I wait until the end?
5 minutes.
Perfect. I'm going to shamelessly advertise something at the very end, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, we are wrapping up Forever today though, right? So we have to get everything out real quick.
I don't think I have anything else. I mean, my big takeaway is it's for what it is, it's great. It accomplishes what it's trying to do, which is make a comic book come to screen. So it has all the parts of, glam and crazy and out there, and also like heart, and it is there. Mm-hmm. You have to search for it. But
I do have a question.
Sure.
About it. And I forgot it, so let me cut this part out as I think out loud. So we're talking about Batman Forever, and this is what it was. Actually, you can actually leave this in because I immediately recovered.
Planned on it.
I don't know how to phrase this, so I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit. But I have noticed in a thing where it seems like I have to plug my computer in because it's about to die. So 1 sec.
God damn it. Well, hey, if you're still there listening and watching, or watching, just make sure that you guys subscribe. That would be great. Write a comment. Tell a friend. Get this going, because the season's about to wrap up, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop being fucking awesome all the time. So ring the bell for notifications. You got to say that before he gets his headphones on.
Hi.
Hey,
he said
back,
something.
Kevin.
Don't listen to him. He's lying.
We need listeners.
Listen to him. He's not lying. Anyways, okay. I feel like there has been an aggressive campaign on the part of franchise-owning studios to cast people in roles that can perform their own stunts to a greater degree than was accepted 10, 20, 30 years ago. At the same time, I wonder if it's just simply that editing techniques have gotten better, visual effects have gotten better with pasting faces and whatnot, and like green screens, all that stuff. Just things have gotten better to make it look better. I mean, because it's not like Captain America's flipping around doing ninja kicks. Like, it's not Chris Evans. Like, that's definitely an example of where there's a stuntman.
But the thing is, I mean, I wonder if it's different for Batman because the suit is so heavy. I feel like, it's 40 pounds of rubber. If Val Kilmer's walking around, then it's fine. But if he's like, throwing a punch or whatever with another stuntman, it's like that is something that now that I feel like the suits would weigh less. Like, I think Christian Bale probably did more of his own stunts than Val Kilmer or George Clooney did in these movies, and Michael Keaton in Batman Returns.
Yeah, well, that's something that's interesting to me because
there are scenes where you see like Val Kilmer throwing a punch, and you're like, that's not Val Kilmer. That's a stunt guy. That's so weird. In Batman Forever, it's like, why?
This makes me want to watch it again because now that I have it on Blu-ray and I have my huge TV, I kind of want to, because that's something I've noticed watching old Bond movies. I'm like, this is clearly not Roger Moore. I've watched like 4 of his movies. I'm like, that is so not him.
You mean in A View to a Kill where the car gets cut in half?
That is one.
There's also a scene where he falls through the roof of the boat and falls on the cake, and if you look, that's totally not Roger Moore.
Yep. And I'm actually watching Octopussy as well, and there's that chase scene through the streets of India, and he's like not in it at all. I mean, he's just not.
He only in it to throw the money.
See, this is what I mean, though. This is what's interesting because, like, for example, at that time, you can't really use visual effects as much as you can now, obviously. Yeah. So they would try to use like editing techniques. So they would cut to a wide shot so you can barely see him already, and then his face is kind of like hidden by shadows or maybe his shoulder, and you can kind of get away with it a little more, even though now you can't because I'm watching it in 4K. Amazon streams some stuff in 4K, which is awesome. This is what I'm into these days, by the way.
Also back then, though, they didn't plan on people having the thing.
That's true.
You would just watch it in the theater, or then HBO came out and you'd watch it live on HBO, and then people started getting VCRs, taping things off TV, buying the actual thing, renting them from stores.
And even then, the quality wasn't amazing.
Yeah, VHS. Yeah, now it's amazing quality, and you're like, that's not Roger Moore.
You can see like microscopic detail. Well, maybe not that much, but you can see quite a bit. And so I wonder if part of my understanding is maybe it's not that performers are doing as much of their own or more stunts. It's just that studios are more savvy to the needs of the consumer in regards to what that's going to be presented like, or its presentation.
I think it's also along the lines of, like, it depends on how dangerous the stunt is and how in shape the person is. I mean, because, like, Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig have gotten fucked up on the sets of Star Wars and James Bond constantly. And you're like, how is that even possible? What are they doing? Running? What are they doing?
See, I think that's actually a good example of people that they are trying to hire specific people that can do more things. Like Daniel Craig was hired, and he has had injuries on like every single one of the Bond movies. He's had like a major injury. And like you wouldn't hear that story about Roger Moore, I feel like. I think they hired Daniel Craig to put him into shape. First of all, another thing, I think they're definitely putting actors into, serious boot camps to be ready for these movies. Everyone's jacked to tits. I mean, they fucking literally have some kind of HGH, if not literal HGH, to get them into the right physique for these movies. So, I don't know. I think it's a little, like, they are doing a little more. They're more prepared. They're working out with, like, Taekwondo instructors. What's that guy? Billy Billy Phillips?
I have no idea.
Who's the Taibo guy?
Billy Banks?
What? No. Who's Billy Banks?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Here's my concern, though. It's like, I know stuntmen still do stunts. Stuntmen, stunt women, they still do stunts.
It's Billy Blanks. You were so close.
That's what I said.
You were serious?
Did I say Billy Banks?
You said Billy Banks, but that's still fucking close.
Billy Blanks, yeah.
I cannot believe you knew that. I thought you were joking. Like, well, I don't know. Like, you're saying funny things, Kevin, like Billy Banks. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think my dad had a tape of his or whatever. Never used it.
That's why it's like Limitless, where you're Bradley Cooper and you took a pill and you reached deep into your memory and were like, my dad has a motherfucking Tybo videotape. That's so funny.
I never thought I'd hear that sentence. My dad has a motherfucking Tybo videotape.
That might be the title. I don't know. There's so many good titles here.
You can't make the title something that happens in an hour in.
Cut all the other stuff. Let's just re-record. We'll just start from here.
No, I gotta get dinner.
Hello, everyone.
So we'll hit this and then we'll get out of here. But
okie dokie.
Really quick, I think that's bad having actors do all these stunts because, I mean, what are the odds that they're paying them extra? Like sure, they have an amount that they're supposed to get paid, but if they, I mean, it also affects the movie because production will be halted. They can't do the thing. That's why they
ankle bam. 8 weeks are gone.
Exactly. Daniel Craig on fucking Quantum, Skyfall, Spectre. It always delays it, right?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford on Star Wars. So the whole idea is, yes, you're getting these people to do these things, but are you paying them extra? And if they're still getting hurt and it's the actor doing it, I mean, doesn't that mean you don't have a safe production?
There are a couple things here that I want to throw out there. There's a lot to unravel.
It's concerning.
I think, first of all, stunt performers are amazing and definitely
agreed
are still needed, of course, obviously, a bunch. I also think that they are definitely treated poorly in the industry.
Yep.
People will die on these sets, and I don't think it's necessarily because it was an unsafe stunt. I think it's because they were maybe shooting too quickly, or there weren't enough experienced people at the time with the right communication going on. Like, if you look into the situation where that woman who lost an arm on the set of the last Resident Evil movie.
I didn't hear about that.
That happened. And first of all, that sucks. You didn't hear about that. That you should have, because like these things are crazy. Like, they're bad. And I think that it's almost like a use them, abuse them. It's like football almost. Where
you're
whatever.
They treat you like you're expendable. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the thing too, is it's the same in comedy, where it's not the exact same. No one's lost an arm doing comedy,
right?
Unless you're diabetic. No, the idea that it's just like, well, I'm not going to do that gig because they're not paying me enough. They're treating me like shit. I'm a second-class citizen. I'm not going to fucking work there. Well, great, because we have 1,000 other people in line, so we're just going to have them do it. Same thing happens in stunt work.
Shit, the same thing happens in, like, visual effects.
Visual effects.
Yeah, like, you're a computer programmer. They're like, oh, work 80 hours a week, no overtime, whatever. You're working on Fast and Furious. You should be fucking happy. Like, no, dude, that's fucking crazy.
And you also have it shoved down your throat that's the American dream. You're getting to do what you love, but it's like, in the words of the Joker, never do. What does he say? It's if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I'm good at editing, but I've made the podcast for free. So
right. Well, yeah. Right. Anyways, well, I get what you mean. I get it. But so that's one part. Like, it's so weird to me that you need them. You need them. At the same time, they are basically faceless. So whatever. And we're all about the money. Other thing is, Tom Cruise has to pay for his own insurance on Mission Impossible movies to be able to do those stunts himself. So it is more expensive to insure actors that would actually want to do those things. And probably a lot of them don't even want to do it. If I were an actor, why the fuck would I want to fall like 10 stories onto a pillow? Like, that sounds fucking terrifying. So
I just imagined you falling off of a building onto like a fucking 300 goose down feather pillow or whatever, however that phrase works.
Did we get it?
There's just there's feathers everywhere.
No, the feathers got in the way.
God damn it!
This is my voice when I'm acting. This is what I think action heroes sound like.
Fuck you, Alan Rickman, because you're alive in this scenario, because you're a bad guy a lot also. And I'm falling now.
Like, that's what it is.
It's pretty good.
Pillows.
So that's part. So there's the insurance aspect, but I just wonder if they. Yeah, just wonder. I don't know. There's another thing. There's a third part to I had a 3-pronged attack like Alexander the Great. I don't know if he did that, but.
Well, I'm going to throw another thing. Check out Corridor Crew. We've tagged them in previous videos, but they have stuntmen and stuntwomen react.
Ooh, all right.
So it's really fascinating hearing about that world. So they'll have people like from Marvel shows or Marvel movies and stuff like that on talking about stuff. And they'll also talk about previous movies like, Jackie Chan stuff where he's doing his own stunts. He's getting injured as well. So it's like Jackie Chan is like an actor that does his own stunts, and Tom Cruise is an actor that does his own stunts. But then you have like a Daniel Craig who it's like, why is he doing his own stunts? He's pretty important. He is James Bond. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt. I mean, Jackie Chan is like the driving force for any movie he's in.
For sure. It's just it's so interesting to me because it's like I never thought of Daniel Craig as a stunt guy. It's like I don't even know what stunts he's doing to get hurt, like jumping from something to something. It's like he's fucking 60. And so is Tom Cruise, but
this was back when he was in his 30s too, when he was getting injured.
That's true. He got fucked up on Spectre, didn't he? Like throw out his shoulder or some shit.
I don't know. I remember one he chipped a tooth, and one I think he broke a rib or something. He breaks stuff all the time, which is weird because he's portrayed as like kind of a squat, burly man. I feel like. At least in the movies.
I did just watch Spectre again, and that movie is utter trash.
Bad. It
starts pretty great.
Yeah, the opening's good. There's some good parts sprinkled in the very first hour, I feel like. And then it just kind of goes I didn't hate when he visited Mr. White. I mean, it wasn't the worst. It was interesting. It was well shot.
This is the problem with the movie. The first act sets it up as M is having him do all this stuff, and then it turns into, but it's actually about Bond's backstory. And you're like, why would M be having him go on a wild goose chase about his own backstory? It makes literally no sense.
The main issue with this movie, with Spectre, is exactly what happened with Batman and Robin. They doubled down on what worked in the past, which was Skyfall. Oh, we got into Bond's backstory. Perfect. Let's do it again. And then we'll do it even harder because what's this? Oh, it's Blofeld. We can play with him now. And we're like them brothers. And
it's literally, I mean, I've heard this before on podcasts, but it's the same thing that happened in Austin Powers and Goldmember. I mean, it makes it so Dr. Evil and Austin Powers are brothers. And it's like, you just did a parody of a parody. What are you doing? You made a parody serious. Are you kidding?
The whole cool thing about Bond is he's completely unattached. That's the cool thing about him. He has no ties. It makes him interesting because he's always emotionally repressed. That's the point.
I just hope quarantine or coronavirus ends and we can fucking see No Time to Die. But hey,
I know.
We are over an hour. We got to get out of here. I got to get some food.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next week to talk about the garbage gem in the crown, Batman and Robin. And it was great talking with you, and I love you, and be safe, and numbers are spiking everywhere. It's not politics. That's just science. It's crazy. It's scary. Whatever. Yep. Be safe. Everyone's dying. It sucks. Minnesota's doing a thing where you can do your own tests now.
So I heard about that. It would be nice if the whole country.
Do it tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
I don't think I have it. I'm doing it because it's a good idea to get tested.
Yeah, I should get tested again.
Yeah.
I guess, well, no, because they're scarce now, so.
That's crazy. Move to Minnesota. You can just fill out a form and get it, and that's it.
That'd be nice. Michigan
I don't know
sucks.
how. I love Tim Walz. He's our governor. He's awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. This has been the Kerrit presents Something Serial presents that really funny line I said a few minutes ago about motherfucking Billy Bo Blake's Tybo.
My dad has a fucking Tybo videotape.
Yes, that's exactly right. Thank you for listening.
All right, bud.
And goodbye. Don't buy local burrito trucks. Don't go to Chipotle. They're fucking sofritas and shit. I don't know. Fucking soupy. Flop. Fucking burnt tendon chicken shit. Fucking awful. Double wrapping bullshit. Hate it.
Oh my god.
Queso's not bad.